Warrior, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe to our Warriors channel and also like the video. I have no shame when I see that about 80% of you that watch videos don't subscribe. I say to myself, well, it's free and it helps us a lot. So if you could just do that, I'm asking you, please, because all the information we have on the Warriors, we want to get out into the public. A lot of it's not covered at all by media, and I'm here to bring it to you to share in your communities. I want to talk about, and we have to talk about relentlessly, every day, never give in, never give up. Coming off of a successful week in Washington, D.C., where there was finally action for kids' online safety, where we had survivor parents, those parents whose children have been harmed by social media, sextortion, cyberbullying, buying pills online, all eating disorders, all that stuff, told me they walked away this past week feeling energized, feeling like something got accomplished, like it's going to happen. Now, I'm giving you a little background because what we have now going into summertime, right, is a Congress that takes off, right? They recess is the correct word. We are working on our Kids Online Safety Act. Senate version is the gold standard, 1748. We had a successful week because we had a rally to honor mothers who said, you know, we don't want the chocolates and we don't want the flowers. What we want after several years is the Kids Online Safety Act, where the onus is put on big tech to put out a safe product. And that doesn't interfere with anybody's privacy, anything like that. Sure, because I get pushback. There are parental controls. You do have to talk to your child, but parents who even do all of that, their kids are still being harmed. So understand that argument doesn't really hold because we have dangerous algorithms, all proven, everything I say here. We have whistleblowers, we have internal memos from big tech companies telling us otherwise. Their idea is to keep kids addicted online, keep those eyeballs on, get them addicted for life, get those ad dollars in, and with no regulation, we're not going to stop. So what will it take to really get this all balanced, right? It is happening. And I'm telling you all this right now is because these parents and different organizations and advocates are exhausted, asking for a bare minimum from big tech. I mean, why are they the only business? There are no regulations. Why are they allowed to get away with this? Right? So many are calling right now this the big tobacco moment for social media because right now there are thousands. In California alone, there are in excess of, I believe, 3,000 cases filed. That's just in California. Now, here's what's happening that's disturbing. So let me refresh and tell you, back in March, we had 2 cases going on. Big tech, we had New Mexico, and that was a consumer privacy data that they were using children's information, teens' information, minors' information inappropriately, right? You're not supposed to be using that. And then the case in California, where that was a product liability. They knowingly put out a product that they know harms kids. And why do we know this? Again, because we have whistleblowers, internal memos. We saw the things, how they were referring to kids, how their campaigns were, the teens, that was the focus. Getting them on there, nonstop scrolling, addiction. Both cases were won. They're called bellwether cases. Everybody was kind of waiting to see where these 2 would go. And very smartly, the lawyers brought it in under this product liability. Again, they had the proof, internal memos, whistleblowers. And then also in New Mexico, the other case, because that was giving away children's privacy, their information. Right? So here we are. Now we've got thousands of cases. I just pointed out California alone. I know I'm here in New York, there's thousands of cases. But what's happening, and what even happened in California, is the case was against Google and it was against TikTok and Snap and Meta. And TikTok and Snap, I believe, settled at a court. So now fast forward. All these cases are beginning. This is great news, these 2 cases, 2 states won. Let's go forward with our cases. And Kentucky just settled Their school district in Kentucky overall was suing them, the state, for causing severe mental harm, these devices, to all children, and that the schools then were left to clean up this mess, this mental health mess. So they were suing for $60 million, I believe, dollars for mental health and all that. But here's what's happening. Actually, it was my greatest fear. Big tech has so much money. What's 10 million, 100 million, right? They settled. Just in this case, Google and Snap, I believe, TikTok, they're all blending in these days to me, together. They settled out of court. And the one left standing is Meta, which is Mark Zuckerberg, which is Facebook, which is Instagram, which is WhatsApp. Oh, by the way, Instagram just announced in the midst of all this, with all this outrage and everybody, kind of with a telescope and looking at things, and finally the American public awake. You know what they announced the other day? Like Snap, whose images disappear after several seconds, Instagram would now have would be the new Snapchat. You're going to be able to take pictures, kids, and they'll disappear. More predation. I mean, really, Meta has no shame. But before I talk about that a little bit, Meta is expecting this case will be in, they're going to go to trial. So will we see Mark Zuckerberg again? He's so brazen, we probably will. They're not settling. They've got a bevy, as you can imagine, of lawyers, and they've got a bevy of everything, right? Once again, that puts, because I heard from one yesterday, our moms and dads, back. They want to go to the courtroom. They want to watch Mark Zuckerberg. They want to hear what these cases are. I mean, their children are not here anymore. They are fighting not only for their children, they're fighting for your children, okay? But my greatest fear is that big tech comes along and they just keep paying people off, right? It seems to be headed in that direction. I wish this Kentucky, the whole school system, didn't settle with them. I know it's like money almost always wins out, and force them into court. But they didn't. They took a settlement. And the case, I believe it's June 16th, goes to court. I think opening arguments June 16th, so we'll see where that goes. But in the meantime, this isn't to discourage you. This is to encourage you, because for the first time, more people are talking about it. Our government, what I witnessed in D.C., having Senator Ted Cruz step up, chairman of the Commerce Committee, who's been holding up the vote for Kids Online Safety Act, saying, I promise I will get it done. I promise I will work with the House. I promise. Speaker Mike Johnson meeting with survivor parents and saying he wants to work with them. They will have a seat at the table. We will get this done. Encouraging. Why, our own president, I personally brought a group of parents to Mar-a-Lago to meet with the president, to relay their stories so he could feel the pain, see the pictures of their children, and understand how necessary this bare minimal, we want a duty of care on big tech. Don't put out a harmful product. They're making so much money, they could easily fix all of this and still make tons of money, and they just won't do it. It kind of begs that moral question, doesn't it? When we have kids that are unaliving themselves, harming themselves. Self-harm among teens and young people is tremendous. Why is that? Our children are in so much pain. I believe fueled by the internet. I believe fueled by, it's a long time coming before COVID. Now, COVID period, everybody was in isolation. Now we're seeing the effects. Did we learn nothing from the 30 years since the birth of the internet, 1996? We know the harms. We have the studies. We have mental health experts speaking out. We have doctors, educators, parents, kids themselves. Yet we're still kicking our heels. But you know what? I am feeling hopeful. So this past week in Washington, D.C., raise the flag, shout out to Senator Marsha Blackburn, Senator Richard Blumenthal, Senator Amy Klobuchar, Senator Ted Cruz, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and Senator Ted Cruz, Chairman of the Commerce Committee. I do believe they're going to get it done now. And to our president, like him, don't like him, say what you want, I don't care. Because he took the time when I brought these families, these parents, some of the siblings, right, of the unalived kids. And he gave time, and he was gracious, and he said, I will take care of this. And you know what? I believe him. So we're on our way. So with that, let's keep talking about it. Let's keep educating each other. Let's always talk to our kids. Get them off the devices if it's 15 minutes a day. When a new study came out, I can't even believe it, that kids 0 to 2 spend 8 hours a day in front of screens. I guess their parents or caregivers just sit them in front of a TV set all day. You know, little kids, especially the infants, 4, 6, 8 months, their eyes just light up, right, when they see a screen. But 8 hours. Remember, 0 to 3, 85% of the brain develops in that period. That's when we have to nourish them and feed them and focus on it, no matter how tired and overwhelmed we are. So join us. We want everybody to get on board here. We're going to keep talking about it every single day. We are not going to let big tech win, because I leave you with people like Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates with all their money made from the backs of our children, who are on record, who have said, my children are not allowed, or were not allowed on any social media. Now, if that doesn't tell you something. But again, our survivor parents are the backbone of all of this. I can't do my job at the Warriors along with my other warriors, our work to empower them. We owe them, right? America first. Let's take care of our people, and we're doing it. June 23rd in Washington, D.C. will be Social Media Victims Remembrance Day. The Warriors will be there. We are working on another big event. I'll keep you in the loop about that one. I'm working on it this weekend. And with that, be kind, be compassionate, take care of your kids, talk to your kids, talk to each other. And remember, we are truly all in this together, and we can't put our guard down for one moment. We must honor our warriors hashtag community creates change. That's where it happens. So I can fight in Washington. I can fight in my home state capital, Albany. But if you just in your own home take care of that, that's all we ask. And when you wake up each and every day, go out and be a warrior.